Welcome, everyone, to the heart of the North Georgia Mountains here in Dahlonega. We are live from the UNG Convocation Center as we get set to tip off our midday matchup between the visiting Screaming Eagles of Toccoa Falls College, taking on the 17th ranked team in the nation, North Georgia, for the first time in 2 seasons. We are so glad to have you all with us today, alongside Lee Glenn and the rest of the Nighthawk Sports Network team. Robert DiClemente here, filling in for the legend Craig Corbin this afternoon. The Nighthawks are off to a hot start to the season, 5-1 overall, something that they are no strangers to. This is the third straight season the Nighthawks have started 5-1. And one of the biggest stories coming out of that hot start is Frank Champion, the Division II Conference Information Directors Association Player of the Week. Lee, with the stretch of games Champion's been putting together, you could argue that he's been playing the best basketball of his college career to begin this season.
Hey, Robert, welcome to the microphone here on the side of the basketball arena. Glad to have you. Definitely the right man for the job today. Frank Champion is also the right man for the job anytime you turn on the scoreboard with UNG. Peach Belt Conference preseason player of the year, and he's living up to that hype. Learned last year how to be the pivotal man in a lineup, and even with a team that's battling some injuries, and so defensive have had an opportunity to narrow their focus on him defensively. That has not slowed him up so far this year.
Absolutely, and on that visitor's side, Toccoa Falls is looking for a bounce-back win today after dropping 4 straight games, but they have multiple players who can go out and get you a bucket. 4 players for Toccoa Falls are averaging double-digit points this season, led by the senior Anthony Williams II, averaging just under 23 points a game, similar stats to Frank Champion. And Lee, if Toccoa Falls wants to make this a game, Anthony Williams II, he's going to have his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Toccoa Falls is not scared to play people. So if you look across their schedule, you're going to see Division I exhibition. Just played Young Harris just a few nights ago, led by 8 at half against them. They are not scared. And so another thing too is that when you can play in games like this where you are the clear underdog from the beginning, it gives you just an inch more of freedom. There's nothing to lose, and so watch some wild shot selections early in the game, and if those tend to fall early, it will just breed a little bit of confidence for the Screaming Eagles.
Absolutely, and we should be in for a fun one this afternoon as we are tipped off here at the UNG Convocation Center. The seats are packed with not only North Georgia fans, but we also have some special guests in attendance for Lumpkin County School System's 5th Graders Day Out. They're excited and eager to see the Nighthawks out here this afternoon as Champion drives in for the layup. And that one rims in and out, second effort. And Toccoa Falls ends up with the ball.
Yeah, that's a shot you don't see Frank Champion miss a lot of, to be honest with you. And then had the offensive rebound and missed on the stick back as well. Toccoa showed a zone in their first possession. Looked like we had a set we were trying to run against it and just couldn't quite get organized enough to finish it.
Josh Parker misses, but the tip is good by Trayshawn Wilson. First bucket of the game goes to the Screaming Eagles. Now out to Case Roach. Back to Champion. Nighthawks working the ball around at the three-point line. Here is Smith. Swings it to the corner for Case Roach, and he sticks it. Case Roach with the 3, and the Nighthawks take an early 3-2 lead.
That's a good job of kind of giving us some balance, because on the first possession, we missed 2 bunnies, and then the first defensive possession, we gave up an offensive rebound. Both things that are extremely uncharacteristic of North Georgia. Here forcing the turnover, and seem to have it taken, and you see Coach Evans trying to urge them along. It seems like it took 2 or 3 possessions before we found our comfort zone.
And like you mentioned, Toccoa Falls, they are not afraid of the Nighthawks. They're going to make this a competitive game as this one gets into Roach, and the feed back to Eric Jones for the slam.
Yeah, that's a good job. We lost the ball actually in the short corner. Then Eric did a great job of basking cut through the middle of the zone defense.
Nighthawks on the fast break here. Champion misses another layup. Rebound goes to Williams the second. We mentioned before this game he's going to have his fingerprints all over this one as Toccoa Falls takes the three, misses. Wilson taking the shot there. Here is A.J. White with the ball. Stays in play. And Toccoa Falls comes up with it. Williams the second drives, and the tip is good. Looks like Wilson may have gotten a hand on that to follow that one in.
Yeah, all 4 of Toccoa's points so far have come off of offensive rebounding tip backs, something that I would imagine we're only a little over a minute away from the first media timeout. Coach Evans will not burn one to address, but when that we get a chance to break here momentarily, I would imagine that it's going to be an animated 75 seconds on that bench.
Absolutely, as White gets his hands on it, gets the steal, and he's got a wide open lane to the bucket for 2.
AJ does such a good job of calculating where the shot blocker is coming from. That was a one-handed layup that he held out away from the defender and actually just had to use a little English to keep it away from getting blocked by the trail defender.
And A.J. White's going to have to step up defensively today for North Georgia with Caden Charles out with the ankle injury this afternoon. And the shot there from Williams the second off the mark. Smith outlet pass into Roach. Roach gets the layup to fall.
Nice job of a slide step dribble, 2 feet to 2 feet there. Basically using his shoulder to carve out just enough space to be able to get that shot on the rim.
A couple of back-to-back transition opportunities for North Georgia as Wilson hits the corner 3, making this a 9-7 game. North Georgia leading by 2. And almost a steal there.
I think it was a steal. It's going to be accredited likely a steal for Toccoa and then a steal back by Frank Champion.
And it looks like we're going to have a whistle and a foul. And that looks like it's going against Trayshawn Wilson. And that'll be his first. And that'll take us to our first media timeout. We'll step aside for a short break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Considering a career change? Ready to lead in healthcare? Be a nurse in 15 months with our accelerated Bachelor's of Nursing track. Learn more at ung.edu/ABSN. Shop, play, and stay in Dahlonega, the heart of the North Georgia Mountains.
Welcome back, everybody, to Dahlonega, where the score is 9-7. North Georgia on top of Toccoa Falls. And the Nighthawks are going to go to the line for 2 free throws here after the foul from Trayshawn Wilson. It'll be Frank Champion at the line. And the visiting Toccoa Falls coming over from the National Christian College Athletic Association as Frank misses the first. They make the hour drive west to Dahlonega this morning to take on the Nighthawks.
Beautiful, hence the name Waterfall on their campus. It's kind of like actually built into their school logo. It's a really unique setting where their campus is.
They got the falls on the front of their jerseys. Nice touch. Josh Parker with the ball. Now into Ryan Landers. Wilson passes it off to Parker. Parker drives in on White, misses the floater. tipped back out to Landers. And the corner shot there. Another offensive rebound for Toccoa Falls. Anthony Williams has that one altered and blocked by Eric Jones. And A.J. White stepped out of bounds, had some pressure there, double teamed by the Screaming Eagles. This will be Toccoa Falls ball.
Eric Jones has so much wingspan length. Could not get enough space. Toccoa Falls couldn't to even get that perimeter jump shot off. He just closes out with such high hands and forces jump shooters into being uncomfortable on the catch.
Chase Champion is now checked into the game for North Georgia, as the jump shot is good by Landers. Roach with the ball, gets it in to Frank Champion. He sees a double, passes it out to a top of the key three for Roach. Got another whistle and a foul. And this is going against Anthony Williams the second. And Colin Turner now in the game for North Georgia. Champion again, seeing another double team. He kicks it out to a wide open Champion in the corner. Almost had the champion to champion connection there, but the three is off. Josh Parker with the deep three. Misses. Another offensive rebound by Landers.
That is either the fourth or the fifth team offensive rebound for the Eagle.
Williams the second drives in. That one didn't hit rim, and it looks like we're going to have a jump ball here after Godfrey and Chase Champion were battling over that. So the shot clock's going to stay at 6 seconds. The refs are going to talk things over here. It looks like we will stay at 6 seconds on the shot clock for Toccoa Falls. They get it in to Williams the second. Turnaround jumper misses, and the rebound goes to Chase Champion. Frank Champion on the move and slams it down for the Nighthawks. A 12-9 lead for North Georgia. And they've got this crowd fired up here.
Looking at the unique dynamic on our bench, we've got 4 staff members, 2 substitutes, and 6 players in non-uniform team-issued polo. So Coach Evans and his staff trying to deal with some unique rotations that probably they didn't account for in the preseason.
A steal by A.J. White. He's got a fast break. Cannot finish, but we have a whistle and a foul beforehand. And that's going to go on Josh Parker.
First time tonight you've seen A.J. have to use that 5th gear that he conserves for certain situations. You know, he doesn't really play with his hair on fire until he has to. And right there he was trying to separate and used his change of pace enough to pick up the foul.
And he's one of the most calm, cool, and collected players that you'll see. He doesn't get too high or too low. Screaming Eagles with the ball. Josh Parker trying to direct traffic. Drives in. That shot altered by Chase Champion. Sutton Smith with the board. Gets it into Frank. And he's going to the line for 2.
Back on the defensive end here. That's a wonderful possession defensively for Chase Champion. Saw that his guy was committed to dribble penetration and did a really good job of staying with him, not forcing his teammates to have to rotate, and then not fouling on a challenging 2 attempt. Just giving the gentleman his chest and making him make a tough 2. we got the carom and headed in offensive transition to the other way, which picked up the foul and yielded points for North Georgia.
So Champion knocks down the second, makes it a 13-9 game. He will sit Eric Jones back into the game for North Georgia. Here is Williams the second. And it looks like this is going to be an offensive foul going against Toccoa Falls.
That goes back to, Robert, what we talked about in the lead, that when you're the underdog, you've kind of got a little bit of a side pass to take a couple of those questionable shots, and that's one of them right there, and the Eagles are going to need to see those fall if they're going to want to keep this close. Otherwise, that's just going to ignite offensive transition to our way.
We've seen them take a couple of those shots in this one. Eric Jones and the Nighthawks, Chase Champion as well, doing a good job of altering those shots. And they'll live with those kinds of looks. Corner three by Williams the second. Another offensive rebound to Toccoa Falls. And this one's going North Georgia's way. And that foul's going against Jens Ruckert Jr. And that'll take us to our under 12 media timeout. Score is 13-9, North Georgia on top of Toccoa Falls. We will step aside. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, to Dahlonega, where the score is 13-9. North Georgia on top of Toccoa Falls. North Georgia with the ball. Now into Eric Jones. Into Chase Champion. Goes back to Champion. Don't think he was expecting that pass from Roach. Turns it over. Here come the Screaming Eagles. And the layup, no good by Wilson. Sutton Smith misses the floater there. This is going to Toccoa Falls. And this is the first home game for the Nighthawks in quite a while. They just wrapped up a stretch of 4 straight road games, with all of them coming over Thanksgiving break. The last time we saw the Nighthawks at home was on November 12th when they wrapped up that Southeast Region crossover with a big win over rival Young Harris. While it's great to see the Nighthawks stringing together some nice wins on the road, nothing beats seeing them play here in front of the Nighthawk faithful.
No doubt. Glad to see them back. And glad to see defensive possessions like that from Eric Jones. I mean, Toccoa can't get a jump shot off when he's on ball.
Here's Champion back to A.J. White. Back into the game for North Georgia, into the big man, Colin Turner, and the floater is good for Colin Turner. Score is now 15-9.
You don't see big men shoot a 2-footed floater like that very often. Speaks to the touch from Big C, as we call him.
And Turner had some limited minutes last season. We should expect to see his role increased by a pretty substantial amount this year. as Sutton Smith is called for the foul. Jordan Guthrie stepping back on for the Screaming Eagles. Xavier Todd in the corner. He drives in on Smith. And Smith's called for another foul. This one's going to be 2 on Smith. And it's going to put the Screaming Eagles at the line. Xavier Todd's going to shoot 2.
That'd be a touch out of control on the ball handler there, but thought Sutton did an honorable job of cutting off dribble penetration and then just holding his ground. But sometimes, which is good offense, an aggressive dribble penetration gets rewarded. As long as you don't run over a defender, a lot of times contact, if it's not a block charge kind of look, will be called in the favor of the offense.
So both free throws are good. Makes this a 15-11 game. Chase Champion gets it into Smith, now into the big man Colin Turner. Back out to Smith. Trying to find Chase Champion in the corner. Nighthawks turn it over. Josh Parker on the move. They get this in to an open Guthrie. And they're going to...
Not sure if the basket's going to be good or not. Yeah, the basket's going to count. And it looks like it's going to be a foul on North Georgia in trying to gain offensive rebound. Toccoa Falls player trying to get an advantage for offensive rebounding. Gain an advantage. North Georgia fouled, so now it looks like Toccoa is going to make the 3 to pull within 1, 15-14, and get the ball baseline out under their own basket.
Absolutely. This could potentially be a 5-6 point swing here for Toccoa Falls if they're able to find the bottom of the net. Josh Parker with A.J. White guarding him. He takes the 3 and he misses. Rebound goes to Eric Jones.
A.J. did a good job of understanding that that's probably going to be a jump shot. Challenged it really well.
White, a sneaky good defender, as Roach misses the 3. Offensive rebound goes to Frank Champion, and he hits the layup plus the foul. Champion muscles his way in for 2, gets the offensive rebound. He's going to the line for 1 more.
Yeah, Frank offensive rebounding and then 2 feet in the paint. When he's gathering himself, you're going to have a tough time getting him off of his line. You better foul a lot harder than that if you're going to make him earn the points.
And this possession started by the defense from A.J. White. Sneaky good defender, averages 2 steals a game for North Georgia, one of the leaders in the Peach Ball Conference in steals. Here's Xavier Todd trying to drive in on Eric Jones. A deep 3 by Wilson. And this is going North Georgia's way. The Nighthawks are coming off a big ranked matchup against Florida Southern, where they were victorious 95-83. And that was a big win for them, coming off their first loss of the season against St. Leo in the FCS Mocs Thanksgiving Classic. But huge 30-point games from Frank Champion and A.J. White led them to a win against Florida Southern, ultimately knocking the Mocs out of the top 25 teams in the nation as Case Roach hits the 3.
Yeah, I'll tell you, anytime you can pick up a win over a top 25 team in their own building, I think that that's going to come back and help us when we get into the spring semester, when we have rankings and things of that nature.
And the 3-point bucket is good by Guthrie. Nighthawks with the 4-point lead. Champion gets it into Roach. Now back to A.J. White up at the logo. The lob into Frank Champion. And a connection from White to Champion. Gets the layup to go. 23-17 lead for North Georgia.
It's just a good 2-man game from A.J. and Frank there. Frank rooting his defender up the lane far enough for A.J. to throw that pass over the top.
And what a luxury it is to have both of these players on this team, as the three from Josh Parker, as good as we just mentioned. 30-point games from both Frank Champion and A.J. White in that win over the Mocs over Thanksgiving break. And that's tipped by Wilson. Mocs on the move. The lob into Todd. Off the mark. This goes out of bounds, and it's going to be North Georgia's ball. And this will take us to our under 8 media timeout. North Georgia 23, Toccoa Falls 20. We will step aside for a short break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Welcome back to Dahlonega, where the score is 23-20, North Georgia on top of Toccoa Falls. And before that commercial break, we were mentioning North Georgia was busy with their road games over Thanksgiving break. But today's game marks the start of the longest homestand for North Georgia this season. After today's matchup, they have 2 more back-to-back home games against Voorhees on Friday and Mount Olive next Saturday.
Next Saturday is part of the Ross Morcom Memorial. We'll have a North Georgia doubleheader in here, followed by a matchup of Lumpkin County High School and Commerce High School.
Here's Frank Champion. Kicks it out to an open Case Roach. Can't get the 3 to fall. Ball bounces out of bounds. Going to Toccoa Falls. When you look on the flip side of things, if you're including exhibition and conference matchups for Toccoa Falls, they're in the middle of a stretch of 14 straight away games. The next time they play at home, it'll be a new calendar year. Their next home game is January 20th against Pensacola Christian. Nighthawks get the steal. Frank Champion on the move, and he gets the layup to fall. 25-20 lead after the little Euro step there by Frank Champion. Godfrey with the ball. He's guarded by Champion. And the three-pointer is up and no good by Guthrie. Rebound goes to the Nighthawks. Roach into Champion. Back out to Roach for 3. Off the mark. Rebound by Wilson. Here is Brown with the ball. Off to Guthrie, who drives in. Shot by Wilson. He gets the friendly roll there. Makes this a 3-point game.
Eagles will not go away.
Into Roach. Now back out to Chase Champion. Chase Champion into Frank Champion. Back out to Roach, another open 3, and he gets that one to fall.
Too good of a shooter is Case Roach, not going to miss 3 of those in a row.
He's had a lot of good looks here in this first half. A couple of threes to go for Case Roach, making this a 6-point lead. And the layup off the mark, and the tip back in is good. Looks like Wilson had his hand on it to get the second opportunity for Toccoa Falls. Jones in the post, pass out to Frank, and he is fouled in the air by Godfrey. That's going to send him to the line for 2 shots. And those are the kinds of fouls that, Toccoa Falls, as you mentioned earlier, if you're going to foul Frank Champion, you got to foul.
That's actually a smart play by Godfrey there, because that was going to be a really engaging 2-point basket for the Nighthawks. Had Frank had a little bit more space, so Frank's been working really hard on his free throw shooting. Made the first here. Let's see if he can validate the possession. If not, if he misses this, then Godfrey and Toccoa Falls actually are coming out on the plus side of the decision.
We saw a lot of games last season that came down to free throws in the final seconds of the game. A lot of those situations, Frank was at the line as he misses the second, so that's definitely a point of emphasis that they've been working on in the offseason.
Become a lot better free throw shooter, though.
And the drive and the layup is good by Xavier Todd. Just a one-possession game. North Georgia on top, 29-26. Under 5 minutes to play. And the lob into Colin Turner. He's swarmed by a couple defenders, and the layup is off. Rebound goes to Toccoa Falls.
Big C tried to carve out a little bit of space right there. The pass sent him into a bad spot, caught it down under the backboard, but was able to muscle his way back out enough to get that shot.
Here is Josh Parker trying to direct traffic. He's got the big man, Big C, on him, tries to make his way past, and we're going to have a foul going against North Georgia. It's going against Case Roach, and that foul will send us to our under 4 minute media timeout. 3-point ball game, North Georgia on top of Toccoa Falls. We'll step aside. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
Welcome back to Dahlonega, where the score is 29-26. North Georgia with the 3-point lead over Toccoa Falls. The Nighthawks are coming off a 2022-2023 campaign where they posted their highest win percentage in program history. They went dancing in the NCAA tournament for the first time ever as well, making it all the way to the semifinals of the NCAA Division II Southeast Regional Tournament. And this year, not only do they return their entire lineup from last season, they've also added some new pieces into the mix, along with the transfer JoJo Peterson, a couple of freshmen as well. And they now have a healthy Eric Jones back into the lineup for the Nighthawks as that one bounces out of bounds. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. And Lee, with the arsenal of players that Coach Evans now has at his disposal, we should expect to see even more improvements from his team, and the sky really is the limit for them.
Yeah, I would like to think that especially when the Nighthawks get healthy and have a full complement of players at their disposal, that's what you're seeing right now. It's just we just don't have the depth right now to be able to sustain a run. And so we're trying to catch our wind a little bit defensively, and you see us make some uncharacteristic defensive mistakes And I think that when we have our full complement of players, there'll be Coach Evans will have the leverage of a little bit more accountability in the sense that, hey, look, tired or not, if you can't do your job on that end, you're going to come out.
As Frank Champion misses the free throw. Toccoa Falls with possession. Josh Parker gets it into Wilson, back to Parker. And the three-pointer there from Williams off the mark. Eric Jones skies high for the board. And here come the Nighthawks. And Chase Champion tries to get the up and under layup to fall. Off the mark. Rebound goes to Toccoa Falls.
Good idea by Chase there, trying to use the rim to thwart the shot blocker. Had a big shot blocker trailing the play.
And this one's all tied up. Josh Parker hits the three. Makes it a 29-29 ball game. Here's Case Roach now into Frank Champion. A.J. White for three. He hits the front of the rim off the mark. Rebound by Todd. A minute and a half left to play. Score is even, 29 apiece for North Georgia and Toccoa Falls. Mid-range shot by Josh Parker is good. And for the first time this afternoon, Toccoa Falls has taken the lead. A.J. White into Chase Champion, now into Frank. Frank with the layup is good, plus the foul. He's going to the line for one more. As we mentioned earlier, if you're going to foul Frank, you got to foul him.
Yep.
You can't give up those easy ones because he's going to knock him down almost every time.
And the three-point play is such an energy creating play. It's like the worst thing that a defense can allow is a three-point play. And he converts it.
North Georgia regains the lead, 32-31, as we approach 1 minute remaining in the first half. So far, this has been a very evenly contested matchup. Williams into Landers. Swings it to the corner for Williams. Williams off the mark with the three. Eric Jones with the board. He's been busy on the glass for North Georgia this afternoon. Nighthawks get this one into Case Roach. Pump faked, but his foot was out of bounds. This is going to Toccoa Falls. It looks like North Georgia, they can get the board here. They'll have final possession. Parker with the ball. White on him. Takes the deep three, and he hits it from a couple of steps behind the three-point line. Toccoa Falls with the lead. 10 seconds left in the half. Here's Frank Champion. Swings it out to Chase Champion. Pump fakes in the paint for two. Misses. Offensive rebound by Eric Jones is off. And Toccoa Falls is headed into the halftime break with the 34-32 lead over North Georgia. We will step aside for our halftime commercial break. First half stats and breakdowns coming your way shortly. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
My name is Lana Titterina, and UNG is where I lead. I chose UNG because of the tennis program and how much the tennis program has achieved in the past. And I wanted to be a part of building a good team. But also the campus is very beautiful, the location. It has the new business building that I really like, and when I did my research, I really liked Dahlonega in Georgia. So one of the biggest challenges that I faced was coming here and not knowing anyone. I didn't know how the culture was and how to really approach people. And being new and not knowing anyone can be tough in the beginning. So you have to really put yourself out there and make connections, talk to people. So that's where I feel like I've grown a lot, and I've gotten to know a lot of people here, and that has helped my experience. My advice for international students would be just go for it. It may be tough in the beginning, but it's all going to be worth it at the end. You're going to meet amazing people. It's really fun, and you get a very good degree.
Since 2007, we've seen an explosion in popularity of superhero movies in the last decade. Rayner argues that superhero films offer an escape from the boredom many of us feel with our lives. We love the epic. We want epic lives. There's a tension you're going to face as you celebrate, walk out of this door, and you go to Monday and you say, what's next? And more importantly, how do I live a superhero life? John Gordon, he's a best-selling author on leadership. This is what he says. There's a myth about success, graduates. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. One that says it's all about you. But here's the truth. You're not a real success unless you're helping others be successful. That's the greatest self-growth strategy of all time. The more you help others grow and improve, you grow and improve. Focus on others. It's not about you. And you'll find something even greater than success. Graduates, you'll find significance. But remember, in all of this, there's a tension. How do I live a superhero life? Enter the epic by being bold. Your family, your community, our state, and our nation are all counting on you. Graduates, today we celebrate you. We celebrate your hard work. We celebrate your diligence. We celebrate your commitment. And I am so incredibly proud of you.
It takes more than intelligence and talent to succeed in life. It takes grit and a commitment to excellence.
It takes the willingness to serve others and a cause greater than yourself.
It requires you to push boundaries,
ask difficult questions,
and understand the world around you.
It requires you to know your strengths
and weaknesses, and have the desire to make yourself better than you were yesterday.
It requires you to be independent, efficient, and tolerant.
Ultimately, it requires you to be a leader. At the University of North Georgia, we develop leaders.
Leaders who serve our country abroad to tackle the challenges of the world.
And leaders who serve at home to improve our way of life.
Leaders who never quit.
Leaders who lead by example and not exception.
Leaders who are tough, but fair.
Leaders who are relentless and passionate.
Leaders who solve problems and don't make excuses.
Leaders who do the right thing, even when no one's looking.
There's nothing average about the University of North Georgia and its Corps of Cadets.
If you've got what it takes, then bring it.
You can't really get an idea of how another country runs their military till you go abroad.
It was cool to see their outlook on just life in general. To be there as a global ambassador is definitely a life-changing experience.
I participated in the Management College National Defense University Cadet Exchange. That is located in Taipei, Taiwan.
So I participated in study abroad internship in country of Georgia. The program I participated in was the Swiss Summer Mountaineering course. The experience was extremely professional. There were people from different militaries across the world. I was training with soldiers that were once our adversaries. It's fun to notice the importance of diplomatic relations and also civil affairs through the military.
The host school was always really going out of their way to help us get the full cultural experience because we were, in their eyes, only going to be there for 5 months.
They drove us out and we hiked to a glacier. That was unique, especially coming from Tennessee. There's no ice walls to climb. Their native language of Georgian was very difficult. However, at the end, I gave a little speech in Georgian, thanking their academy. It was an eye-opening experience. One thing I learned in Switzerland was to try and enjoy everything that you're doing, no matter how challenging it is.
Being able to see the country of your target language in person and really living day to day can move your passion to continue learning the language that much further.
All the conferences, all the internship, and all the exchange programs will help you as you develop, not just as a soldier, but also as a person. I think everybody in the Corps should study abroad because it will develop them so much.
If you have a free semester, it's the perfect time to explore a country. There's really not much holding you back in terms of whether or not you should go. It's a great experience.
I got extremely valuable training and just an overall incredible life experience that I wouldn't have gotten going to any other school. And it was the opportunity of a lifetime.
My wife's family is full of medical professionals, including lots of nurses. The more they talk to me about nursing, the more I realize there are so many different opportunities within the field of nursing. You can constantly continue growing, continue learning, which was something that really drew me to it. I was really attracted to the accelerated program at UNG for a couple reasons. One, I heard that UNG, like everything I've heard about UNG's nursing program is incredible. I have a couple friends who have been through it in recent years and had just spoke very highly of it. Just everything I've seen online, spoken about it, it's just a very reputable program. So UNG was already a pretty clear choice for me. And then seeing the opportunity to do an accelerated program, it was kind of a no-brainer. Honestly, I get to graduate earlier, and one of the things that appealed to me the most, actually, was that most of our clinical rotations are at Northeast Georgia Medical Center. I am really thankful for the faculty that are specifically dedicated to the ABSN program here. This faculty, they really want to see us succeed in this program and be the best nurses we can possibly be.
Welcome back, everybody, to Dahlonega, Georgia, where Toccoa falls.
Is Daryl up there?
What's that? No.
Copy.
Welcome back, everyone, to the UNG Convocation Center, where our score stands at 34-32. Toccoa Falls with the 2-point lead over the 17th ranked team in the nation, North Georgia. Nighthawks are trying to push their record this season to 6-1, and Toccoa Falls trying to pick up their first win since November 13th. Lee, what stands out to you most on that box score from the first 20 minutes?
I'll get to the box score here momentarily. One thing that I think that is stands out to me is just generally speaking is that, as we alluded to in the open, is that Toccoa Falls will not back down. They are not scared. They are not scared of the situation. They are here to play. They are shooting 42% from the field. That has got to be a concern of Coach Evans. One red flag is 54% from behind the three-point line on 6 of 11 from long. They only shot 2 free throws in the half. Got to find a way to get their percentages down. On our side, it's not like we were necessarily ever in full control of this game. Our biggest lead was 7. A.J. White, one of our two leading scorers, only has 1 basket in transition. And Frank, who has scored 15 points. One concern for me with Frank is that he's the only player on our team to have gotten to the free throw line in the first half.
Absolutely, and I think you're really starting to see the effects of North Georgia's condensed lineup this afternoon. Only 7 players in a jersey this afternoon for the Nighthawks. As you mentioned, Frank Champion leading all scorers for North Georgia with 15 points. Case Roach following that up with 11 points, but then the second highest scorer, it's 2 points from Colin Turner, 2 points from Eric Jones, and 2 points from A.J. White. And as you mentioned, pretty uncharacteristic from the point guard A.J. White, coming off of a 30-point outing last week. So we should expect to see him become more involved in this second half, take some more shots, and try to get North Georgia back into this ball game.
Yeah, it's just not the box score that we're used to be honest with you. We need to spread out our attack. Right now it seems like Frank is the only one that is comfortable attacking the rim. We've settled for a good bit of jump shots, both 3s and pull-up 2s. And so it's going to be interesting to see if we can just become a little bit more balanced in how we're getting our offensive looks. And then defensively, we really need to defend the perimeter a little bit more, turn them into drivers, and then when they do drive, don't foul. Make them make contested 2s.
Absolutely. And in that first half, Toccoa Falls, especially in those final 10 minutes, caught fire from 3. Josh Parker, 3 for 4 from downtown, hit that 3 with about 10 seconds left to give Toccoa Falls the lead. Guthrie is also 2 for 3 on his 3-pointers as well, so that's going to be a point of emphasis for North Georgia. If they want to come away victorious today, they got to limit those 3-point opportunities from Toccoa Falls. So 20 minutes down, 20 minutes to go here in this afternoon midweek, midday matchup between North Georgia and Toccoa Falls. North Georgia will start the half out with possession. As they are trying to figure out something going on at the scorer's table. Looks like got it sorted out. We are ready to rock and roll here in this second half. We are underway as Smith finds Case Roach. Now into the paint, and A.J. White takes the 3, and he knocks it down, and there you go.
That didn't take him long.
Absolutely. He only took 3 shots in that first half. Took about 15 seconds to get his first shot off of the second. Knocks down the 3, and North Georgia takes an early lead, and a great rejection there by Eric Jones averages about 2 blocks a game for North Georgia, one of the leaders in the PBC as he finds an open Sutton Smith for 3.
That is the third jump shot that Jones has blocked. That's not blocking shots at the rim. He is elevating and blocking jump shots.
He's altered plenty of shots from Toccoa Falls this afternoon. As you mentioned, one of the best players in the PBC for block shots, as the three-pointer is good by Anthony Williams II. Williams, in that first half, had just 2 points, the leading scorer for Toccoa Falls overall this season, as the open three by Sutton Smith is off the mark. Rebound goes to Williams.
Credit to Toccoa Falls here. Right there on that miss, they weathered the storm of 2 made threes on our first 2 possessions by North Georgia. Then they force a 50-50 ball right there on our end that they end up winning and get right back into the flow and are now back up 1. So tip of the hat to the Eagles right there for showing some composure.
Josh Parker picking up right where he left off in that first half, gets the bucket there. Speaking of Parker, he picks up the foul, his second of the game. So North Georgia will inbound on the baseline with A.J. White. Guarded by the much taller Xavier Todd, gets it into Roach. Roach now to Smith, trying to find Champion down low. That one bounces, I believe, off the leg or the foot of Eric Jones. Couldn't quite handle the pass there, and so Toccoa Falls is going to take possession.
Yeah, high-low action between Frank and EJ there, and just Frank dumped it down to EJ and just power dribble went off of his shoe.
Here's Josh Parker. And we're going to have an illegal screen going against Jeremiah Williams, giving North Georgia the ball. A.J. White trying to get around that screen there. And this is going to turn the ball over, give North Georgia a chance to regain the lead. Case Roach in the corner to Smith, now down low to Champion. Champion whips it over to Roach in the corner, misses the three, rebound goes to Williams.
Toccoa Falls holding a 1-point lead and the basketball, all without a real clear defensive strategy against Frank Champion right there. Not doubling him on the post touch.
Speaking of defense, a nice defensive play there by A.J. White coming up from behind, altering the three-pointer there from Josh Parker. Keeping this a 39-38 game as Chase Champion steps back into the ball game. Case Roach will sit. Todd with Smith on him. He drives. And another great defensive possession there by the Nighthawks as Jones was able to get a hand on it. Out of bounds off of Toccoa Falls. North Georgia takes over. As we mentioned in that first half, Eric Jones missed all of last season with an injury. Great to see him back into the lineup for North Georgia. One of the best defenders in the Peach Ball Conference as Champion hits the front of the rim there on the three. Parker drives it on Smith, kicks it back out to Williams the second. That one off the mark. Frank skies high for the board. And almost a turnover there by North Georgia as Todd was able to use his long arms and get a piece of that one. Stays North Georgia's ball, though.
Just having a tough time stringing some clean possessions. Toccoa is...
And we're going to have a foul go against, I believe, This is going against A.J. White. Offensive foul. Did not like the contact there from Xavier Todd. Thought he was playing a bit too aggressive. So this is going to be the Screaming Eagles ball. Todd with a significant height advantage over A.J. White. Parker now with White on him. Cross it over, kicks it out into the corner for 3. That is off by Wilson. Outlet pass into Eric Jones, collects. And the layup goes through for Eric Jones Jr.
Great job by EJ gathering himself. I thought the lead pass had strung him just a little bit too far in front, but gathered it and got up and got us back on the right side of the scoreboard.
And Toccoa Falls wants a timeout, takes a 30-second. This is going to take us to our first media timeout of the second half. We'll step aside. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody, to Dahlonega, where the score is 40-39. North Georgia with the 1-point lead over the Screaming Eagles of Toccoa Falls. And the Screaming Eagles will inbound here with 25 seconds on the shot clock. Josh Parker gets it into Landers, and that's stolen, taken away. Nice outlet pass by Frank Champion. And that dynamic duo of Champion and White connects there. North Georgia now with a 3-point lead.
Frank did a great job of being in the gap on that dribble penetration, knocking the ball away, and then seeing, knowing AJ has that extra gear, throwing it way out in front of him and letting him run it down and shoot the layup's going to get us to the next media.
So North Georgia will head into the under 16 media with the 3-point lead. We will step aside again for a short break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to the UNG Convocation Center. North Georgia with a 3-point lead over Toccoa Falls, 42-39. Right before that media timeout, Frank Champion finding A.J. White on the fast break for the layup. And Champion this season, he's tied for first in the NCAA Division II with 5 double-doubles this year. What's also interesting is he's also ranked 5th in the nation in assists per game. I think those assist totals will really stand out because we know how good of a scorer that Frank Champion is. And the fact that he's also one of the best players in the nation and setting up others to score makes him just so difficult to guard on the court.
There's no doubt. And a lot of those guys that are finishers are over there in white polos. And whenever they come back, not only as we talked about in the first half, Robert, about how it's going to help us defensively, but just more people to share with. It's been just really honorable to watch how well these guys have played on such a short roster with only 7 guys theoretically in uniform today.
Eric Jones knocks down the first free throw. North Georgia is used to playing with these shorter lineups. Played about 7 or 8 guys last season. So we're seeing a little bit of deja vu in today's game as Eric Jones knocks down the second. Makes this a 2-possession ball game. Here is Trayshawn Wilson.
Seen the defensive energy fire up just a tick on the last 2 or 3 possessions for the Nighthawks.
And the layup is good by Josh Parker.
Really tough finish from Parker right there.
Get this one into Champion. The spin, no call. Easy bucket there for Frank Champion. Makes it 46-41, and the nice defensive play by Champion as well. Picks off the pass, and he is on the move now as he finds Eric Jones, and he's fouled from behind by Jamarius Pringle. It's going to send him to the line for 2 more shots.
And that is all Frank Champion right there. He's the straw that stirs that drink. Gets the bucket, sprints down. Not if you noticed or not, was the one that picked the pass off, brought it up against pressure, handled pressure in the back court with a couple of behind-the-back dribbles, and then the assist to a scoring position. And had EJ been able to catch that clean, that would have been a dunk finish. So Frank having his hand in how this game is shaping out in a lot of different ways other than scoring.
Absolutely. Champion's really a player that we can't rave about enough. Only 3 weeks into the season, he's already starting up to pile some accolades. Been named the PBC Player of the Week in 2 of the first 3 weeks of the season. As we mentioned, he's the NCAA Division II National Player of the Week as well. He's actually the first PBC men's basketball player to earn that accomplishment. As Jones goes upstairs, flight 22 cleared for takeoff. Jones with the slam makes this 49-41. Toccoa Falls gets this in to Williams the second, and too much pressure from behind by Eric Jones is going to send Anthony Williams the second to the line for 2.
Anthony Williams this half has been really good off the bounce, scored on a couple of really contested 2s through contact, and right there a little bit of discombobulation from the Eagles, but were able to get it in his hands and attack the rim and get to the free throw line.
Williams, the leading scorer for the Screaming Eagles this season, averaging just under 23 points a game. Knocks down the first free throw and gets the second to go too. Makes this a 6-point ball game. Smith gets it into Champion, now into Chase Champion. Frank setting the screen. Back into Frank as he's posting up. Pringle puts the move on, gets into the lane, gets the bucket, plus the foul for Frank Champion. Going to the line for 1 more. Colin Turner will check back into the game for North Georgia. as Frank Champion is now looking to get to 20 points on the afternoon. He almost has a double-double today. 20 points now and 9 rebounds for the Division II National Player of the Week. There is Josh Parker, gets it inside to Williams. Williams gets the bucket to go and the foul. He's going to the line for one more as A.J. White picks up his second foul of the afternoon. And Toccoa Falls has done a great job of responding to any sort of attack that North Georgia puts onto them. North Georgia gets the end one over on their side. Toccoa Falls responds here with one of their own. Can't convert on the three-point play, though, as Smith gets the outlet pass into Chase Champion. That shot altered, and the rebound goes to Parker, but taken away by North Georgia as Frank is pressured by Landers as Case Roach steps back on for North Georgia.
North Georgia had pushed to its largest lead of the night with 9. Eagles almost connected on an old-fashioned three-point play. So, again, the Toccoa Falls just choosing to not go away.
North Georgia gets this one into Smith. Smith misses the reverse layup. Rebound goes to Parker. Parker now on the move. He's got Champion on him, and a great block there by Champion on the jump shot. Nighthawks on the move. Champion converts the layup for 2.
Frank's just kind of putting this game on his shoulders. 1 rebound away from yet another double-double.
22 points, 9 rebounds for Champion as the three-pointer goes for Wilson. And this is gonna take us to a media timeout. Toccoa Falls calls the 30-second timeout. And we are gonna stay right here with you on the Nighthawk Sports Network. North Georgia leads 54-48. And when you compare these two teams, Toccoa Falls coming into this game averages just over 88 points per game, while North Georgia averages just under 80 points per game. And with 12 minutes left, we'll see if both of these teams can hit their season averages with 12 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, Toccoa is, we talked about the theme as them not being afraid. I'll tell you one area that they're not afraid is to attack the rim. They've got some guys that are very confident with the basketball in their hands and have done a really good job of answering what have been these little micro runs by North Georgia, specifically some micro runs by Frank Champion himself. They do a good job, like right there, came down and hit the 3 right after it looked like we had finally stretched it back up and we're threatening with a double-figure lead, which we have yet to have today.
And it's interesting how successful Toccoa Falls has been in the paint in this one. They've seen a lot of their success from beyond the arc this year, shooting 40% from 3 this season, the second highest in the NCCAA. A large part of that due to Josh Parker. He's coming into this one shooting 45% from three-point range this year. Got a 13-on-13 matchup. Smith is fouled by number 13, Josh Parker. That'll be his 3rd foul of the game. Substitutions for North Georgia as Eric Jones steps back on. And Sutton Smith will go to the line for 2. Smith looking for his first points of the afternoon. Knocks down the first. Shooting 1 and 1, so he'll get another opportunity here. Smith, one of those players always looking to set up his teammates for points rather than getting some of his own. And he's definitely a player that any team would love to have on their roster.
Yeah, definitely a facilitator. Right there you see a Screaming Eagle transition lob landed in our cheerleaders section.
Pass a bit too high there for Anthony Williams. North Georgia takes over. Smith whips it over into the corner to Case Roach. Misses the three. Rebound goes to Todd. And the layup in transition is good by Anthony Williams. The second starting to come alive here in this second half.
That's just not very committed to transition defense. A lot of times bad misses on corner threes lead to easy offense.
A.J. White for three, knocks it down. North Georgia with a 9-point lead, and we've seen them settle for some jump shots here in this game. Case Roach knocking down some threes. A.J. White gets one to go. Makes this a 9-point lead for North Georgia. And great hands there by Eric Jones, takes it away. Case Roach on the move, gets it in to Smith, back to Roach, and that's blocked from behind by Williams the second. Great hands there, and this is going to be Screaming Eagles basketball. As they inbound it quickly here, trying to catch North Georgia off guard. Good job by the Nighthawks getting back into their defensive position here. Todd tries to drive in on Smith. Another good defensive play from North Georgia as Roach gets it into Champion. The lob and the layup good from Fox 5.
And a double-figure lead for the Nighthawks.
Parker brings it up the floor. Trying to drive in on White. Pump fake. Gets it in. Layup no good. And the rebound's going to end up going to nobody, but the possession's going to stay with Toccoa Falls as Smith steps off. And the younger champion, Chase, steps on for North Georgia. And the three-pointer off there by Williams the second. North Georgia with an 11-point lead as Roach drives into the bucket for two. North Georgia, their largest lead of the game, 13 points, 63-50 is your score. We'll see if Toccoa Falls can get Parker involved more into this offense. And the contest up top by Eric Jones. Outlet pass into Chase Champion. Gets the transition bucket for two. Now a 15-point lead for North Georgia. Nighthawks starting to pull away here in these final 10 minutes. Here is Guthrie for three, wow. And he sticks it. And again, a nice response here from Toccoa Falls. North Georgia now on the move, no call, and Eric Jones gets the dunk to go. I don't think that Wilson was too happy with the no call there, but this is going to be a 67-53 ball game. We approach 8.5 minutes, and the three is off by Guthrie. And this is going to North Georgia.
I am headed, don't have my laptop with me, but I'm headed to live stats on my phone. And I wonder if we should be on triple-double watch with Frank Champion. Not sure. Hang on. Hold, please.
Turnover by the Nighthawks. And a great defensive possession there. Eric Jones saying no.
That is such good transition defense by Eric.
And as we mentioned, averages 2 blocks a game. He has well surpassed that mark in this one. He has been all over the place for North Georgia in this game as they get this one into Williams the second. Step back three by Guthrie off the mark. Ball still in the air, and Eric Jones comes up with it. And you mentioned triple-double watch. Frank Champion was heading towards a triple-double in their win against Florida Southern. I believe he was 1 rebound or 1 assist shy of the mark. The drive here and the layup off the glass good by Williams. The second gets it to go over Sutton Smith. 12-point lead for North Georgia. 7.5 minutes left as Smith swings it into the corner for Chase Champion. Off the mark. Rebound goes to Parker. Transition opportunity for Toccoa Falls, and they missed the jam. And we're going to have a foul, I believe, in the backcourt going against Guthrie. And so this is going to take us to our media timeout. North Georgia leads 67-55. We will step aside for a short commercial break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk. Welcome back, everybody, to Dahlonega, where the score is 67-55. North Georgia with a 12-point lead over Toccoa Falls, and A.J. White's going to the line here for the 1-and-1 free throws. A.J. White second in the PBC in free throw percentage, shooting 90% from the line. May have jinxed him there, misses the free throw. Toccoa Falls will take over.
Yeah, he does not miss free throws very often.
This remains a 12-point lead for North Georgia. Parker with the ball. He's got Chase Champion on him. Pump fake here. And the look like a lob inside ends up back into the possession of Parker, who airballs the three.
I thought it was a shot, but could have been a pass.
Eric Jones gets it in to Big C, misses the baby hook. And the drive and the layup is good from Jordan Guthrie over the outstretched arms of Eric Jones. And North Georgia leads the PBC coming into this one with 31 blocks this season. As we mentioned earlier, Jones averaging 2 swats a game.
He has done well more than that tonight.
Absolutely. As Frank Champion and Case Roach step back into the ball game for North Georgia, whips it out to Roach at the top of the three. Roach drives in, tough bucket. Gets the layup to fall.
Nice. I like the nice aggressive dribble penetration from Case there.
Case has been settling for some jump shots in this one. He's been knocking down some threes, but as you mentioned, Lee, nice to see him get the tough bucket for 2 in the paint. Speaking of 2, number 2, Jordan Guthrie takes the 3.
Shoots it about 2 feet short.
So North Georgia and A.J. White will inbound here, as I believe we're going to get a couple extra seconds added to the clock here. Goes back to 5:35 remaining. Smith gets it into Roach. Now back to Smith up at the three-point line, trying to find Frank down low. He's swarmed. Nice hustle there from Eric Jones. Finds a wide open A.J. White. Can't hit the three. And I think that Frank's going to get called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, going to get Frank on the push-off. He was boxed out, and then when the shot came long.
And Frank's trying to plead his case.
To anybody that'll listen.
Nighthawks have been pretty disciplined with their fouls here in this game. Unfortunate call there for Champion. And the three-pointer in the corner is good by Guthrie. Gets it to fall, and we're going to get the net situated here as this is now a single-digit ball game. North Georgia leading by 9, under 5 minutes to go. Smith gets it into Frank. Smith up at the top for three. He sticks it. Nothing but nylon for Sutton Smith. North Georgia with the 12-point lead. And North Georgia is going to call a 30-second timeout after the bucket from Sutton Smith.
Assist on that three from Frank Champion. So they now 3 assists away from a triple-double.
So North Georgia into their 30-second timeout. We mentioned earlier Smith, and not a score-first guard, but if you give him space,
oh yeah,
he's going to knock it down.
Above-average shooter when you take great shots.
And North Georgia leads the Peach Belt Conference in team field goal percentage this season, shooting 52% as a team this year. Toccoa Falls as a team shooting 45% from the field coming into this one. Screaming Eagles with the ball. Josh Parker will take it up court. And Parker, I could be wrong on this. Looks like he's played almost every minute of this game as a three-pointer is off. Outlet into A.J. White. A.J. White has that one swatted by Williams II. Ball stays in bounds. A great hustle and defensive play there by Williams II.
Extremely athletic play, and another shot rejection from Eric Jones.
A great response there from the Nighthawks. Couple of great swats here to get the Lumpkin County 5th graders on their feet. Parker drives inside. Midi for 2 is good. Makes this a 10-point ball game as we approach 4 minutes remaining in this one. Nighthawks get this one into Roach. Now back to Smith. Down low into Eric Jones. Back up beyond the three-point line to A.J. White. Swings it over to an open Case Roach. Roach misses the three, and this one's going to stay North Georgia's ball.
And bring us to a media.
So we're heading to our final media timeout of this one. North Georgia with the 72-62 lead over Toccoa Falls. We'll step aside for a commercial break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome back to Dahlonega. Score 72-62. North Georgia on top of Toccoa Falls. North Georgia with the ball. Gets it up top to Case Roach. Tries to drive inside. Back up to Smith. Now into White. And a whistle and a foul is going to go against Xavier Todd. And this is going to put Frank Champion at the line. As we mentioned earlier, he's on triple-double watch. Couple of assists away from getting that triple-double, as he can't convert on the free throw. Toccoa Falls driving in, and they keep possession. Nice second effort there from Xavier Todd.
And the Eagles don't look now, but have got it back to 8.
North Georgia has maintained the lead for a majority of this second half. But as you mentioned, Screaming Eagles not going away. Here they are in transition. Anthony Williams, the second, can't get the layup to fall. Roach with the rebound. Smith gets it into Champion, into the corner for A.J. White. Contested three, can't get it to fall. Rebound by Eric Jones. Gets it back out into the corner to White. Now up top to Sutton Smith. Finds an open Case Roach. Up top. Gets it into Eric Jones. Back up top to Roach. Pump fakes now to White. White swings it into the corner for Smith. Down low. They got to work quickly here for North Georgia. And Frank Champion, as the shot clock expires, knocks it down. North Georgia now makes this a 10-point lead, potentially an 11-point lead, after Frank Champion goes to the line, tries to knock down the free throw here after converting the N1 layup.
I thought that Frank was going to kick that out, and I didn't know if he was 100% aware of the shot clock getting tight like that.
And a nice heads-up play there from Champion. He does convert, and he is just 1 point shy of hitting the 30-piece in this one.
He's pretty good.
Xavier Todd gets this into Williams II off the mark. Rebound by Sutton Smith as he tries to direct traffic here with 2 minutes remaining. As Eric Jones takes the pull-up from the free throw line and knocks it down, 77-64 now is your score. And history will tell you that this matchup has favored North Georgia. Nighthawks are 5-0 all time as Eric Jones gets another huge block for the Nighthawks. And I don't have the live stats in front of me, but I wouldn't be surprised if Eric Jones is creeping up on double-digit blocks.
I wonder, like, what there's going to need to do. We're going to do some research here, definitely after the game.
As Frank Champion is helped back up, and Toccoa Falls is going to call a full timeout on the floor. And the last time that these two teams faced off was December 4th of 2021, where the Nighthawks came out on top 89-57. That was also the game that Blake McIntyre couldn't miss from beyond the arc, hitting 11 three-pointers to set a new program all-time record for North Georgia. And that was just a crazy game to watch. He could not miss, was lethal from beyond the arc in that one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we're in school record territory or not. I would imagine not, but could be wrong. It's going to be interesting to look here after the game.
The Nighthawks are 5-0 all time against the Screaming Eagles, trying to push it to 6-0 this afternoon, as this crowd here is fired up on Lumpkin County School System's fifth graders' day out. Trying to see the Nighthawks push their overall record to 6-1, a minute and a half remaining. We'll see if the Screaming Eagles can make one more final push. KJ Seals in the game for the Screaming Eagles, and they pull up.
I think that's another shot block. That was definitely challenged, and it came up 2 foot short.
Wouldn't have been surprised if Eric Jones at least got a fingertip on it. Nighthawks trying to get this one into the big man. Makes the great pass down low into Roach. Roach can't convert on the dunk, but this is still going to end up in free throws here for North Georgia as Ryan Landers picks up the foul, which will send Eric Jones to the line for a pair. North Georgia men's basketball trying to follow up the impressive performance from North Georgia women's basketball after they took down the third-ranked team in the nation, Catawba College, in a huge 72-57 statement win. And that win put both the men's and the women's basketball teams here at North Georgia at 5-1 overall this season.
Yeah, it's a big-time win, knocking off the number 3 ranked team in the country. The ladies have lost their first game and then have come back and won 5 straight, so they're 100% trending in the right direction.
Absolutely, and they've had a handful of new faces into that starting lineup with Emily Truschel, Lexi Pierce, and Ansley Hall in the starting 5. But they have stepped up huge for North Georgia, and the sky is the limit for them as well. We approach 30 seconds remaining. Nighthawks get this one into Eric Jones, and the pull-up midi from the free throw line is good. 81-64, your new score. Shot clock turned off. And it looks like we're going to have a foul going against Sutton Smith. 15 seconds remain, and North Georgia is headed to a 6-1 record. As Toccoa Falls inbounds this one to Landers. Landers drives in. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul. Another contest there.
He got him another block, but somebody had fouled him. I think he knows how many blocks he's got because he was grinning there.
Yeah.
But somebody else, I don't think he was charged. Who was charged with that foul?
I believe that was Champion.
Yeah. So fouled on the dribble. But he had blocked, but EJ had blocked the shot, so.
Absolutely. And so this is now an 81-65 ball game. Eric Jones having his fingerprints all over this one, literally and figuratively, with all the blocks he's had, as the free throw by Landers is good. And North Georgia can just inbound this one, get past half court and let the clock tick down. Don't need to take a shot here. Doesn't look like they will, as Case Roach holds on to this one, and that will do it. Your final score, 81-66. The Nighthawks improved to 6-1 for the 3rd straight season and remain undefeated against Toccoa Falls and undefeated at home this season as well. Lee, any final thoughts on today's game?
No, tip your hat to Toccoa. They did not back down. They're not scared to play. They are a very good three-point shooting team. Very good athleticism as well, but North Georgia on a short roster was able to gather after trailing at halftime and grab their 6th win of the season and set the table for another game on Friday evening here back in the Convocation Center.
Absolutely. They'll be back in action, as Lee mentioned, this Friday at 7 p.m. to take on Voorhees College. You can catch coverage of that game right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. On behalf of Lee Glenn and the rest of the NSN team, this is Robert DiClemente saying thanks so much for watching. Again, your final score, 81-66. North Georgia wins. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.